Hi there folks, welcome back to the IB90 Fishing Channel and welcome back to day 2 of my little River Usk fishing adventure. Hopefully you guys, if you're current subscribers, have caught up with this one already and you've already watched episode 1. I thought that went pretty well, I was quite happy with that. Would have been nice to have put that one fish in the net, but that's how it goes, and in the end actually thought it worked out alright. Really nice beat, lots of flat water. Looking back, a beat that was more likely to fish well later on into the day. Day 2, however, and I think this beat is going to be very different straight away. I said I was going to go and check the beat out yesterday and walk it, and I didn't because I just found rising fish straight away. So this time I parked up, I was like, no, I'm going to go walk this beat, I'll have a look, I'm not going to take the rods. Well, that was a good thing and a bad thing, believe me. A good thing in that I now know more about the water, it's in quite a tight valley, we're further up the system, it's rockier, it's more bedrocky, as I say, we're further up, so the sort of topography of the place has changed. It's given me a chance to have a look at what rods I don't need. I haven't brought that spider fishing rod with me today. And generally it just familiarised myself with the place a bit more. Bad thing in that, to be honest, I'm absolutely knackered because where you park your car for this beat, or one of the accesses, is right at the top of the hill, and then you walk down it, and actually, because it's further up the system, this is quite a physical piece of river. It's bedrocky, it's bouldery, it's steep, it's canyony. I spent about 45 minutes wandering around. I am absolutely blowing. I'm already sweating. It's about 10:30 and I had, about 5 minutes ago, I had sweat running down my face. It's warm, it's humid, and that walk was really something. But as I say, glad to have done it. I know where I'm going now. Like I said, completely chalk and cheese with yesterday. Yesterday was one giant sort of pasture meadow, big meander. You could walk around. It was all flat. It was all easy. This is going to be very different. It's very rocky, you can't see it too well down here. I'm right at the bottom of the beat pretty much on a big flat. As we go up here, it just turns into heavy riffles, heavy bedrock, and then there is one more flat at the top. It's going to take some getting up and down. I'm going to lose a few pounds today, but hopefully I can gain a few pounds of trout while we're at it. Like I say, I only bought 2 rods. I've bought my dry fly rod, a 9-foot 4-weight, and I've bought an 11-foot 3-weight Euro nymphing rig, which I think is going to get some use today because that pocket water looks really nice for it. As ever, small box of flies. We don't go too heavy on the flies, particularly at this time of year. In terms of dry flies, we're looking at March browns, we're looking at large dark olives, and have snuck a couple of midges in there just in case. On the nymphs, by and large, at this time of year, most of the bugs that are coming down these rivers are pretty big. Again, you're talking March browns, you're talking large darks, there might be some granums, some caddis kicking around underneath the surface. So I've stayed relatively big on the bugs as well. I have seen one fish rise in this pool behind me just as the sun cracked out. It's going to be sort of on and off today, I think, that cloud, but every time the sun came out yesterday we found bugs, so hopefully we find some bugs on here pretty soon. I'm going to play a bit of a waiting game. I don't want a nymph just yet because, as I say, I want to gain some energy back. Hopefully one of these fish rises again real soon. Well, about 5 minutes on from the intro, and I sat here really patiently. I was thinking, oh, there's the odd bug, but not a whole lot. The sun cracked a little bit, and all of a sudden there were bugs everywhere. The pool that was pretty quiet when I first arrived here, other than one solitary riser, all of a sudden looks full of fish, and I am not going to miss out on this. I've started off on the all-purpose olive. There's a mixture of large darks and March browns coming off, and actually I've just seen a granum lift off as well, so there's a bit of everything, and I reckon there are 5 or 6 fish risen in here in the last 2 minutes. That's a little bit short of my target fish over there, but if I can get that another couple of yards further across, it'll be perfect. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. They are absolutely walloping these bugs as well. These are not gentle sips in this rough water. They are crushing it. Surprised he hasn't eaten that, to be honest. The sort of aggression in the rises makes me wonder whether they're specifically targeting the March browns. Oh, it's getting very hard to ignore one of these because he is just smashing them at the moment. And again. Okay, yeah, I'm going to change to that March brown emerger. I'll give this guy 6 more drifts and then I've got to switch to the other fish. Righty, March brown emerger. Let's just drift this over these guys a couple of times, see if he gets a different reaction. Oh my, there's a fish above me that has just completely lost its mind at the moment. Right, there's a March brown going through this area here that hasn't been eaten. Interesting. So that's making me wonder already. Do I just... yeah, I've got to switch. I'm getting my way up this inside nice and slowly because there could be fish up the inside that I haven't seen yet. There's a boulder just here that I can use as cover. Typically, just as this hatch has started... oh, fish close. Just as this hatch has started, also... oh my goodness, what a hatch this is as well. Just as the hatch has started, the wind's got up. Oh, he missed it. So it was a rise in the area of my fly. He did miss it. I wonder if he even took my fly if I just struck at nothing there. That was weird. Fully rolled over the top of the fly. I struck just out of instinct, really. And the fly was still sat there on the surface. Leave him alone for a minute. I'll try the guy a bit further up. What's going on here then? Is this drag? Is it... I mean, the March Browns are pouring off, but the rises in front of me have stopped at the moment. So there are still a few rises above me, but the fish, the two fish that are going to target, have gone down completely. Now the one level with me, maybe that's because I struck on him. I could sort of understand that. The one above me had completely lost its mind there for about 5 minutes. And you would have looked at it and thought, well, that's an absolute gimme. He hasn't risen for a little while now. Just wonder if I've been a bit unlucky there with a mixture of the wind and that sun going in. Certainly the wind will be blowing those duns around. Okay, well, the only thing I can think of doing here is resting this bit, maybe moving up 20 yards to where there are still fish rising and trying to catch those, because some way or another I've actually made a bit of a mess of this. I would say by and large this pool has gone a little bit more quiet. We just had a 5-minute spell there where the sun went in. And just while I'm waiting for something to happen out there, I'm just going to blind the inside of this, just make sure there's nothing in this water directly in front of me and above me before I go across for those fish. That's a rise below me, so I've got one marked. Okay, so one has just lifted, sort of 45 degrees up from me. That'd be pretty much perfect. Oh, now that one is a miss, and I'm not really sure how. He rolled right over the top of that. Well, that one below me has just risen again, so while I'm licking my wounds, I'll switch for him. It's the second bubble line, so actually a slight downstreamer here probably suits this. That's good. That's too far, actually, it's too long. It's going to start to drag. Yeah, it's a yard too far over. Hopefully these fish aren't drag picky, because if they are, then he's probably already knackered. Bit of a reach mend. No, doesn't eat it. This is interesting. Let's try that again. Bit of a reach mend. Bit of slack. And I'd have said that was absolutely gun barrel straight over him. Ooh, okay. So again, I've just waited there for 5 minutes. Sun came out for 60 seconds and a fish has risen directly above me. And that should be spot on. Ooh, that should have been spot on. When that hatch starts, it actually becomes difficult to pick my fly in amongst all the others. It is a hell of a heave of bugs. But there were bugs going over where that fish rose. Ooh, one just opposite. Bugs going over where that fish rose that is not eating. That's perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. It does drag though, but I did get him. It was dragging, but I did get him. He's flown at me. Crikey. Go the other way. Try and get this guy on the reel. Don't want to let him go across the river if I can help it. There we go, on the reel. Bit safer there. Well, it's taken a few misses to get a hit. Made that look difficult there for a few minutes. Fascinating with these bugs, it really is. It must be completely driven by light when they hatch, because there's no way the temperature has changed. Oh, big rise below me. 1 5.5x tippet. I can feel that plinking over rocks and stuff. Just in case in amongst these fish there's a real bruiser. I mean, looking at the amount of bugs coming through here, there's every chance of finding a better fish in this. He's tumbling all over the place at the moment. Try and keep him in that slack. Lots of rocks, lots of bedrock, plenty of places for him to try and get rid of that fly or snap that tippet off. I mean, he's going right into the shallow stuff there. He's in about a foot of water. Looking for something to get under or something to rub that fly against. I'm going to try not to let him. It's a good fish, actually. Yeah, it is a nice fish. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a little bit bigger than I realised, actually, that. Oh, he's still got a bit about him. Lots of plinks on the tip. It's horrible. I just assume that at some point, oh, he's just done it again. At some point, he's going to plink that fly out if he keeps going like this. Let's try and keep him moving this way. Try and keep him moving this way. Stop that. Stop that. Oh my goodness. Can I scoop him there? Yeah. Whew, what a lovely start to the day this is. And that is an absolute belting fish to start the day. Fantastic. Well, I've missed a few there that maybe I should have hit, but I've made up for it with the one that I hit. What a fish that is. Absolute belter. Gorgeous, gorgeous Usk brownie. What a start to the day. 20 minutes. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning fish. How can you not just love that? Ooh, strong as well. See you later. Very, very happy boy. That was absolutely beautiful. But really interesting 10-minute period since that fish. The sun stayed out. The wind hasn't been particularly bad. But actually, very few bugs. And I was sat here thinking, crikey, is this about to wind up already? Are we nearly done? And then out of nowhere, again, another flush of bugs has just started. And to be honest, it is just as much as it was 15-20 minutes ago. Really sort of on-off hatch this. So I've got a couple of fish to aim at. I'm going to try a change of fly. I've put a jingler on. I'll be honest, there were points when I was struggling to see that emerger, and sort of this lumpy stuff is what that jingler's designed for. We'll give it a fair shake, see what happens. Oh, it's a good fish, that is. That's the one I was trying to cover earlier that I couldn't catch. We'll give it a fair shake and just see if this makes any difference. That's absolutely perfect for that fish. Absolutely perfect. Oh, that one just above me has just risen. Let's switch. And that should be spot on. It's just risen. That might be a problem. God, I've lost that jingler as well. I can't see that. Real headache fish, this one. I would love to catch this fish. Just it's giving me so much grief. Just give that a bit of a mend. Again, that's absolutely bang down his line, and the drift looks good. Oh, how was that not pinned? How was that not pinned? Properly rolled over the top of it. I really waited. Not quite got my striking glasses on today at the moment. Ooh, let's mend that into that fish's path. In truth, well, we did have a little flurry then. It has gone a little bit quiet in this pool. I've missed, what have I missed? 4? 3? I've missed 3, I think. I might just be running out of fish to aim at here. This might be as good a time as any to get my skates on and go and have a look at a different pool. Okay, so I left that first pool and I had a good walk downstream. There's about another 150 yards of water below that pool. Lovely, slow, glassy, flat. It looked beautiful, but I never saw a fish move on it. So I sort of walked upstream and I found some pocket water. In truth, we haven't got much pocket water fishing around where IB and I live. It's probably one of my areas of weakness as a fly angler. So I thought, you know what? I'll fish through this with a single nymph. And I did. And I didn't catch anything, fished some lovely water, didn't get anything out of it. Always thought I was going to and really enjoyed it. But it also sort of, it was a little bit of reconnaissance for what is the flat at the top. This is almost the top end of this beat. And what it showed me was that while there were no March browns hatched at all, the whole time I was pocket water fishing, I maybe did about 25 minutes, half an hour, there are large darks coming down. And it's a trickle, it's not lots, but there is a hatch of large darks happening here that I assume are coming mostly off of this pool. So I've approached it quite carefully. I sat and had a drink after the pocket water fishing, and there's a fish rising at the back, right at the tail out, just above this pair of rocks directly in front of me. It's been rising about the rate of once every 60 seconds up until the last 2 minutes. when I turn the cameras on, at which point I haven't seen it rise. I think it's still there. It might just be a reflection of the amount of bugs coming down the river at the moment. Maybe we're on a little bit of a lull or something. This pool is mostly in the shade, and it might be a little bit more sort of sparse in terms of hatch. I don't think I spooked this fish. I don't think I spooked any fish up towards this fish either. I say that. Yep, there is a there was a fish. That is unbelievable. That's the one bit of pocket water I didn't fish. A fish has just spooked out of this side. I never saw anything rise. I didn't know it was there, and has come down past me, and hopefully it's gone that way. I hope that's not the fish that I've got into cover. It's a long way away from what I call my fish, the target fish. I need to see this fish rise again now. It's really frustrating. Really frustrating. I had no idea that fish was there. Okay, so it's taken a wee while. So he has just risen again, exactly where it was before. In terms of fly, I've got the quill olive done on. I just think, because I've seen those large darks, and because the water's flat, I think that makes sense. I'm going to use these rocks in front of me as a bit of cover to try and make the cast. I don't think I'm going to get many drops at this. He's likely to spook pretty quickly. So ideally, we'd get this right early. That'd be close. Yeah, that would have been pretty good. I'm surprised he hasn't taken that, to be honest. Might just give him 30 seconds after that. That was absolutely smack on perfect. Okay, let's try again. Giving him another minute there. That's good. That's good. It's a little bit left maybe, but it's not bad. Drift was fine. Try that one again. It's a bit further across than maybe it wants to be. Okay, I need to rest this fish again. Okay, so I've given this fish 7 minutes and it's not risen again. In truth, there aren't lots of bugs coming through. I've got a pretty good view of the bubble line there, but at least one large dark has gone straight over where it was sat and it didn't get eaten. So I just wonder if I've already upset this guy. All I can really do now in terms of dry fly fishing is just sit on this pool and watch. So I am almost at the very, very top of the beat here. I've gone about as far as I think I can. I was just sat being grumpy at the world. No bugs, nothing moving, really frustrated. And a fish has risen on this very flat stuff right in front of me here. There's no second angle on here, I'm afraid. I've only got the chest camera on. The other camera's about 200 metres downstream. I've left it while I went for a walk up prospecting with the dries. But I've got a fish to aim at. I've actually got a rising fish. It's risen twice in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Not particularly high percentage fish, but it is a fish. Let's just see. Could we pick this guy out the back of this pool here? That's short, that's okay. That's about perfect. Will you eat that? No. Okay, why not? Why haven't you eaten that one? Got him, got him, got him, got him. Oh no! Had him. Had him. Just worked out as well. I was throwing a load of slack into that and was able to get a drift on him. Oh, what's gone wrong there? Fly's still on. Just worked it out. I've thrown a couple of casts there high and let them bounce back at me, and that's given me enough slack to be able to get that drift. That's what worked for him. Took 2 or 3 casts with a bit more slack in there, and all of a sudden he was a willing eater, and it was a nice one too. Yeah, really frustrating about that one. You go all that time without finding a fish, and then you find one and you work it out and you get a good hook set, and he just throws itself out like that. He did the full triple somersault there. That was about as effective a way as you could possibly hope for to get rid of a hook if you're a trout. Sort of resisted going for the second fish. I actually did make that journey downstream to go and get the other camera, so hopefully you guys have got a slightly more full view of what's going on here. This fish has risen a couple more times, as has one a little bit further across. Must just be a little trickle of olives coming down. It's certainly not much. I'm not seeing many in the air, but out of nothing, all of a sudden, There are just a few bugs. There he is. That could be a different fish, actually. That could be a third fish. Regardless, oh yeah, it is a third fish. So that was the one that I've got into fish for. We've got two others in front of me as well. I'm going to stick with that quill olive done. I've checked the hook, it's absolutely fine. And I think we'll go for the downstream of those fish first. And he's in the bubble line. I can see where he's sat. Well, I can't see the fish, but I can see where he is. I can see why he's there. That's pretty good. A little bit draggy, maybe a little bit short, but it wasn't far off. That's below him. It's not a good cast. Let's switch for the target fish, which I've got a better fix on. And that's spot on. That is spot on. Eat that fly. Eat that fly. Ooh, bit of a boil underneath it was there. We might have had a look at that. I might just give that 30 seconds. I think he might have boiled underneath that. Okay, giving the fly a quick ping to dry it off. We'll go again on that same fish. That one was short, definitely. Didn't quite get the cast right there. Got him. Got him. Got him. Oh, stop jumping out like that. Why do they have to do that? You've got to love and hate these fish, haven't you? It's not quite as big as the one before, but I think he's going to give us a run around in this pool. Yeah. Yeah, this ain't over. Lovely dark fish. Really nice to see this one. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful about where I land it because the wade in here is sketchy. Well, that's if I get him to the net, that is. We're a little bit premature on that one, Andy. But I don't want to move much further than where I am at the moment, to be honest. I've got a little bit of gravel, and well, it's not gravel, but it's smaller pebbles. It's not the bedrocky stuff. This would be a nice position to try and deal with this fish eventually. Hey, don't do that. Don't anything but that. Don't do that. Right, what happens here? We really don't want him going downstream. Stop it, crikey. This is absolutely painful. Right, can I get you above me a little bit? I'd like to get you in there somewhere, ideally. Yeah. I've gone for the net there. I'm probably a wee bit premature. He's sticking around here at the moment. He's not ready. He's definitely not ready. Bit of a lunge there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Settle down. Oh, where are you going now? Where are you going now? No, no, don't do that. Crikey. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going in there? Nope, no, he's found a little hole in the rocks there that he's trying to get into, and I do not want him in there. He's out. He's going to go for it again. Didn't make it. Please stop doing that. Why can't this just be simple? Oh, dear me, this is absolutely agonising at the moment. I'm desperate to land this fish. Right, it's the first time I've had his head up a little bit. You must be getting tired. Yes! Come on! Yes! Oh my goodness, hard earned. That feels good. Happy boy. That has been a rough old time of it in the last few hours. I've just not had a whole lot to aim at, and then I found two. One of which is in the net. It's not quite as big as the first fish we landed, but it's a lovely fish, really dark in colour, really pretty one, heavy spots. I know the light's not great. Okay, I've walked him out a little bit further across the river towards this pool. I don't think you're going to give me any fuss on the way back. I thought not. That's awesome. Well, real relief to get one of those up at the top end of this beat eventually. It's taken me an awful long time. A few near misses, one hooked and came off, but eventually got that fish in the net. I am so happy about that one. That's probably my favourite fish of this trip so far, just because of the situation, because we've had to wait them out, because we've had to work hard. It's a relief to get one in the net. So what I've done is I've walked away from that pool because that was going to have spooked the next one. There was nowhere that the fish was coming back. And I've walked back down to the very first pool of the day. Now I say walked, it's not always walked. Oh. Ouch. Yeah, sometimes it's easier just to fall down it rather than walk down it. We got there in the end. A few bumps and bruises and a bit of dented pride, but we are now back on that first pool, and I've been sat here for about 15 minutes. I have seen nothing. Not a single fish. If you just turned up to this beat now, you would not believe there were any fish in it. And obviously we saw this at 11 o'clock this morning when it was going absolutely bonkers and looked full of fish. It just shows you just what a huge thing those hatches are. These fish know what's coming and they know when it's not there. I sort of feel like I should probably be going through this with the Euro nymph rig, but I'll be honest with you, I have not got the energy to Euro nymph, I don't think. I'm pretty knackered. I'm already starting to think about the drive home. It's 3 o'clock now, so the reality is the best of the dry fly fishing is most probably over. So I think what I'm going to do is actually something a little bit out of character here. I'm actually going to go through this pool with a jig streamer and just see. I'm curious, do these fish stay here and just not feed? Do they tuck away? Are they still over there? Maybe that jig streamer might just show us. So I'll fish that on the Euro nymph rig. I can fish it at a slightly lower intensity than if I was fishing nymphs conventionally. I am obviously going to keep my eyes out for rising fish. That is what we want, but at the moment it's not looking likely, so we'll jump in with the other rod. But in the time it's taken me to rig the jig streamers, still nothing has risen. Very much feeling like that might be the end of the day here. We've got 2 wagtails in front of me here chasing each other, but no interest in bugs. Let's just see, does anything move for these jig streamers? As I say, I'm going to keep my eyes open for rising fish. That's how I want to catch them. So it'd be interesting to see how they respond to a streamer. Just going to give this a little tap to the rod tip. I'm not trying to move it too fast. Just animate it slightly. Give those fish plenty of chance to catch up with it. It's a fair old bead, it's a 5.5. I'm not going to struggle to cast it. Cool. About 5 minutes in here and I'll be honest, I've not had a tap. Seen a couple of bugs hatch, I've not seen anything rise. As far as the jig streamer goes, nada at the moment. Okay, we'll keep working up. It gets a little bit shallow up here. This is the stuff that I should probably be nymphing. But as I say, I am feeling it a little bit physically and I just don't think I'd nymph this effectively at all. So the jig streamers is a bit of a sort of lower maintenance, lower energy method, I reckon. So I'm a little bit surprised to have not had any interest yet. I thought something would have whacked this by now. Okay, lovely area on the far side, just in the lee of those big rocks. I mean, that is exactly the sort of stuff you'd want to pop flies into. There we go. Crikey, it's taken a while. Finally found one on the streamer. Jeepers, I was almost given up. I've made a cast there that's just gone further across the river than most of the others. And finally something's whacked it, but it's taken a long time. It's taken a really long time. Looks a really big fish as well. Looks a good one. Yeah, I'd almost given up with that, to be honest. Pretty much done with it. Just wasn't happening. Just made one cast a bit further across. I saw the flash, didn't feel any contact. No, I do wonder if he came and had a second go at that. Yeah, it is a good one. It is a good one. Can we get this guy in the net really quickly? Will you go in the net now? Will you go in the net right now for me? Will you turn? Come on. Come on. Come on, let's get you in straight away. Yes, before you know what's going on. It's a really good one as well. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, the streamers still work then, eh? Bit of a war dog of a fish, this one. He's had some fights and battles over the years by the looks of him. But he's still in reasonable nick. Big old head in his pomp. That would have been quite a trout. Still a really, really lovely fish. Nearly 20 inches. Righty, friend. Let's get you back got a few bumps and bruises on you. If you manage to put some condition back on, you're going to be a mighty trout again. Go on, off with you. Well, sometimes you learn as much from the fish that you don't catch as the fish that you catch. And actually, even though we've caught a fish on the jig streamer there, eventually it took much longer than I feel like it should have done. Given how many fish there were in that pool at the start of the day, I think one thing that does tell us definitely is that those fish have completely backed off. It's not like they're down there swinging around eating nymphs and they'll take a whack at something and there's still a couple of dry flies going over the top of them. There is nothing. I had one take in 20 minutes, 25 minutes chucking that jig streamer around, which tells me that those fish have just completely packed up for the day. It's actually about half an hour on since that fish, and I've been sat on the nice glassy flat below it hoping to find a rising fish, and nothing has happened, and nothing's going to happen. So at that, I'm actually going to call this one. I think I've probably had enough. We're about 4:15. I think this will do. If I leave now, I'll get back in time, sensible time. IB can tell me off for missing all the fish. Certainly not straightforward today, but you know, I look back at that first hour and a half and think, well, I had what, 4 or 5 takes on that dry fly. If I convert 3 of those rather than 1 of those, then you look at it and say, wow, that's been another really fantastic day. So it really comes down to my conversion rate. Yesterday I was almost perfect, today I've been relatively imperfect, but over the course of the 2 days it's evened out, and actually I think it's been a really nice 2 days. Guys, I'm going to go and hit the road, but thank you very much for watching this video again. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much if you watched both of them. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully there's been some stuff you can take away from this. As ever, almost all of the flies that I've used during the course of these 2 videos are available on our web shop. So I'll put the address just here for the web shop. You can top yourself up with some flies for the summer and beyond. That quill olive dun has been absolutely brilliant over the last couple of days, and you've seen the value there of that jig streamer. It's pulled a fish at a point when we just wouldn't have caught anything else. That's what I use that streamer for generally. When there's nothing happening, that thing will make something happen. Time for me to walk back to the car now. I've got about half a mile up the side of this hill here, and I know that by the time I get to the top of this hill I'm going to be a hot sweaty mess, which is why I've recorded this now. Again, thank you very much for watching the video, really appreciate it. IB and I are going to see you guys soon for some more fishing, hopefully some more dry fly fishing, probably not any more March brown fishing, but something else cool coming up very soon. Take care folks, bye bye.